Now, we all have things that we just won't spend our money on. I'm absolutely the same, and here are some of the items that I won't buy a designer or luxury derivative of. Hello, 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 and the warmest of welcomes to today's video. For those of you who haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Nick, fab to have you here. Those who have seen my face before, thank you so much for joining me again. Hope you enjoy my videos. I put out videos roughly 3 times a week on a range of different topics, anywhere from fashion to slightly more personal topics. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then please do head down, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I love chatting with you all. I'm all about living life loud, and what that means to me is being your authentic self, being proud to be you, and just celebrating who you are. Celebrating yourself, and of course, celebrating others. So, I'm pretty sure that this topic, there was a tag fairly recently, I think I was tagged in it, and I don't know if I ever did it, was around items that you won't spend your money on. I think it was about frugal habits. That was it. It was about frugal habits. I'm not a frugal person, so I decided actually I wasn't going to do that. I watched all the videos, but I decided I didn't really have anything more to add, so I didn't do it. But I was thinking, actually, there are certain things that I won't spend my money on, or I won't buy a high-end derivative of a particular item or a very expensive version of something. And that's not to say that they're bad items. It's not to say in the future I won't. Some of it is just because of current circumstance. Some of it I would love to get into, I'm just not right now. But some of it I just don't see the value in. So let's kind of talk it through. The first thing for me, and I think this one often features on people's list, is tech. I don't buy high-end luxury tech. Now, it all depends on what you determine luxury tech to be. In all honesty, regardless of the definition, I am buying it. But, you know, I won't buy like an Hermes Apple Watch. But the Apple Watch itself might be considered a luxury. You know, I might not buy the design. I think Fendi did designer Beats years ago. Beats themselves are a luxury, but they're also known in that field. I don't buy expensive tech because it's just not something I'm particularly passionate about, but I certainly wouldn't buy a designer collaboration which adds a markup onto it. If I was going to buy expensive tech, I would go for a brand that was recognized in that field, that was luxurious because of that, and because of its quality and because of its output, not because it collaborated with a high-end fashion brand or another luxury brand, a jewelry brand, whatever that may be. I don't buy designer phone cases. I buy nice ones, but they're from Etsy or Amazon. I have a Guess phone case. I used to have a lot of Karl Lagerfeld ones, which, to be honest, because of the price I was paying for them, yeah, they're designer technically, but I was paying like nothing for them at the outlets. I was going for like the cheapest ones. My AirPods case is Karl Lagerfeld, but again, it was about £35–40. I don't see that as being massively luxurious. You know, I'm not buying even like a Mulberry phone case for £150. I'm certainly not buying Prada phone cases, Louis Vuitton phone cases for £400, £500, £600 a pop, if not more. I think wasn't the Petite Mal phone case like a really high amount. I'm not doing that. It's just not my interest. I'm just not that keen on it. The second thing is, and again, it's about kind of the collaboration, exercise equipment. You know, you can buy from the Versace home section, like exercise equipment. You can buy it from Louis Vuitton, I think, as well. Like Louis Vuitton dumbbells and stuff. I mean, what a flex. What a moment to be able to go into your personal gym, because that's the lifestyle that I think you're living, with your Louis Vuitton dumbbells, and it's all kitted out. I mean, how fabulous. That's just not a life that I'm living. And I don't think if I ever had the opportunity to, exercise equipment wouldn't be my first thought, okay? It wouldn't be where I'd plonk my money first and foremost. Exercise is a miserable enough activity. I don't need to then be spending thousands on the equipment as well. I'm also not particularly committed. So I knew I would get excited, buy designer gym equipment, and then go, oh, screw it, I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't want to work out anymore. It's over. I'm done after like 2 days. So it wouldn't be a worthwhile investment. I wouldn't get the cost per use. I remember Karl Lagerfeld did some exercise equipment and I was a little bit tempted by that. But even then it felt a bit gimmicky. It was like skipping ropes, and a skipping rope was £80 or something. I ended up buying one on Amazon for £7. And true to form for me, did it for about 10 days, decided it wasn't for me, gave up. Skipping rope is currently somewhere. Couldn't even tell you where. That's how uncommitted I was. So thank goodness I didn't go and spend £80 on the Karl Lagerfeld version. It would have been a waste of money. Another one for me is designer homeware. It's beautiful. It's just not something at this point I can get into. It is a lot of money. In a lot of instances, it can be delicate, especially things like crockery. I would be so nervous to have a plate that was from Versace or something, and it was £65 for the bread plate, £100 for the dinner plate. I could not watch someone, if I had someone over for dinner, using their knife and fork on that plate. I would be nervous about the candle holders. I would be nervous about all of it. It's beautiful stuff. The wallpapers, I think I remember seeing Gucci wallpaper at one point. Stunning, gorgeous, glorious. Very expensive, very unique, very chic, but I couldn't enjoy it. I would love to be able to. I just can't. And as much as, you know, I like seeing them on $1 Million Listing or Selling Sunset, Hermes blankets, Hermes throw pillows, they're lovely. In my lifestyle, I know that I would get stuff on it. Like, which one is it? One of these? I spilled pasta on one of these, you know, I just kind of flipped it round, hoped you can't see it. You can't do that when you've spent £1,000 on an Hermes pillow or an Hermes throw. You know, this is a little juicy couture number here. I don't worry about it quite so much. I don't mind when I'm spinning my spaghetti or when I'm being a bit of a mess, or what was it I did the other day? Oh, I left the bottle off of I left the top off of a bottle of Diet Coke, knocked it over with my hand, went flying across the carpet, got at it straight away, pulled up the stain, no issues. But if there had been a really expensive rug on the floor, if there had been an Hermes blanket, or if there had been something of real value, I would have been in bits. Absolute bits. I have the odd piece of Longchamp homeware. I have, as an example, you know, my Mulberry Monopoly. This feels very gimmicky, but it was a gift and I love it. I'm yet to use it, and I love it for its decorative value. And as Monopoly goes, it was darn expensive. Like I said, it was a gift. But this is probably as far as I can go at this point. Yeah. I just don't know whether or not I would get the satisfaction from it. Well, I know I wouldn't get the satisfaction from it. I'd be nervous. I'd be watching it. I'd be seeing someone rest back on the pillow. Like I said, if I had a Gucci pillow or a Versace pillow, I'd see them resting back on it, and I'd be thinking, oh, go lightly, go softly, don't impress it too, like, don't imprint into it, like, and I wouldn't be able to enjoy it. I'd be doing the same. I'd be thinking, oh goodness, do I want to sit on this? Oh no, what if I get something on it, or what if I spill? Or I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. That's just not who I am. People already, when they come over, say to me, Nick, your home is ridiculous because the cushions are always on and everything's always in its place. It's always very uniform. That's how I like to live. When I get up off the sofa, I put all the cushions back. Then I'll come back 20 minutes later, decide I want to sit down, bring them back off. That's how I like to be. Imagine that if it wasn't £20 a cushion, but it was £1,200 a cushion. It would all be over. It would all be over. So, homeware. Beautiful, love, not the life I lead. The next one for me is luxury ready-to-wear. And again, this isn't something I would be opposed to. It's just not something I ever look at. It's not within my price bracket. I love seeing it on other people. I love going to Selfridges and having a little bit of a mooch and a little bit of a pretend of, well, that's really nice, you know, and then I look at the tag and I go, oh no, I shouldn't even be near it. Like, it's just one of those things that I don't even tempt myself with, because I can't spend £1,500, £2,000 on a jacket or £300 on a t-shirt. It's just not what I do. And I actually have brands that I do really enjoy buying from, like they're ready to wear from. I enjoy things like Karl Lagerfeld. I enjoy Calvin Klein. I love ASOS. I'm a huge advocate of ASOS. I love Devil's Advocate. I've got brands that I really enjoy buying from that in the grand scheme of things are well priced and they've lasted me a long time. I'm also a volume player. You've heard me use that phrase before. I am a volume player because I like to have variety. I am not someone who goes for the capsule wardrobe of I'm going to have fewer pieces, more curated, interchange them, higher quality. No, I want to be able to wear yellow one day, purple the next, pink after that, then green, then blue, then orange, then I was about to say red. I would never wear red, never. But like, I like to be able to change. I like to be able to wear over the course of a week, baby pink, antique pink, fuchsia, magenta. Are fuchsia and magenta the same? I don't know. Flamingo pink. Like, I like to have variety. I can't get that if I'm spending £80, £90 a garment, £100 a garment. You know, I could work some of that stuff into my wardrobe. I choose very carefully when I do. I have some beautiful things, don't get me wrong. I've got my Karl Lagerfeld coats, which aren't cheap. I've got my beautiful Jacques faux fur, which wasn't cheap. I've got my Burberry trench, which I never wear. But I have some beautiful pieces. You know, my jackets are, you know, £100 or so each, my blazers and stuff. But that's okay for the amount that I wear them. I couldn't have the volume I have if I'm spending £500, £600, £700 a pop. It just won't happen. One day will I maybe go all out and buy like an Alexander McQueen suit? Sure. Moschino suit, maybe. Yes, I would love to. But that's because that will be a very specific reason, a very specific item. But on the whole, I will still count myself to be a volume player when it comes to ready to wear. I'm happy with the brands I buy from. They've never let me down in terms of the quality, etc. so far. So I'm going to stick. I'm not going to twist. I'm sticking. And last but by no means least, this is something that I would like to get into. It's something I don't spend my money on. I would like to at some point. I'm just not there yet. Exotics. I have mock exotics. I love the look of them. For me, I have never been able to afford a real exotic. I say that the odd pre-loved piece has come up where I could, and there are specific exotics that are often less expensive than others. Python, as an example, tends to be less expensive than something like crocodile. Crocodile is, I think, one of the most expensive that you can get. Crocodile and alligator, the furs. I don't think I would go for fur just because the climate I live in doesn't really lend itself to it, and I'm a bit too carefree about my items to probably fur wouldn't be right for me. But I would love to be able to have exotic pieces. They have to be sustainably sourced, absolutely. I would be doing my research. I would want to make sure that every box was ticked, that it was appropriate. But if I was comfortable with the research that I did and I found pieces that I loved, I would go for it. There was a white Celine Phantom. We all know how the Celine Phantom turned out for me, but there was a white Celine Phantom in Python that I was very, very tempted to buy from Cudoni before Cudoni closed. The only sticking point for me was it looked like the scales were lifting. And as much as I love the aesthetic, I don't think I would have been able to stomach the feeling of the scales lifting. But it was beautiful. I think something like crocodile would work really well for me, but it's incredibly, incredibly expensive. Maybe where you've got pieces that are lined in like water snake or something. Dale's just unboxed the most glorious piece in Galusha. Meredith has some absolutely fabulous exotics as well. Really beautiful pieces. I think they're stunning. I think they add so much depth and dimension. They really exacerbate the colour of the material as well. Beautiful. They're just not within my price point at this point. It doesn't mean that down the line I might not start to look at them again. I'm okay with the fact that I buy the mock exotics at this moment. Would I like to own one maybe? Yeah, I think so. And do I think that could be possible? Sure. I'd have to pick the right one. and really think it through. But I do think it would be possible and could be possible. Do I think I'm going to have a full collection of them? No, I don't. But I also don't think I would want a full collection of them. I think I want one that's really, really special to me in a really beautiful colour, in a gorgeous style, that just feels like a bit of a pride and joy piece. I would be open to what some of those options could be, but that's just not something I spend my money on at this point. Simply for the fact is, let's be honest about it, I can't afford to. I can't afford to, and that's okay. Who knows what the future may bring? Let's see. And I'll just keep my eyes peeled. I might stumble across the perfect piece, whether it be brand new from boutique or pre-loved, and we'll go from there. Who knows? So there we have it, everyone. Those are categories of item that I just don't spend my money on at this point in time. As I said, it's not because they're bad pieces, it's just because they're either not conducive with my lifestyle, they don't fit my budget, or they're just not something that interests me, aka sports equipment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what some of your items are. Thank you so much as always for watching. I look forward to seeing my next one. Take care, everyone. Bye now.